The full list of leaked heroes coming to Marvel Rivals is actually bigger than you might think, with many heroes already confirmed from the game files to be on their way. So in today's video, we'll take a look at every single leaked hero that will be coming to Marvel Rivals. And these heroes are leaked through data mines where you can see voice line interactions that they'll have with other heroes, or their ability names, or sometimes even more than that. But first of all, we have Emma Frost. Emma Frost was data mined, and we currently know her ability names. That's all we know at the moment, so I will show you those and we can speculate on what they might be. So her full list of abilities, well, there's actually quite a lot of them because it seems she'll have two forms, her human form and then her diamond form, of course giving her hardened skin, maybe damage reduction or more health. So the first ability is Psychic Blast. This is probably her primary fire, and then we also have Psychic Ray and Psychic Ray 2 that are both used in her human form, which will probably be one of her abilities while in human form, using her psychic powers to attack the enemies. And then we have Psychic Barrier, so a defensive ability, maybe a shield of some sort to protect your teammates, which does make me think there's a possibility she could end up being a Vanguard. And then we have her diamond form, so I believe she'll be able to switch into diamond form, which will then give her a new set of abilities. And for the diamond abilities, we have Diamond Shock, Diamond Kick, and Diamond Backslam. So it looks like the diamond abilities are very offensive, and most of them do seem quite melee-based attacks as well. And then we have a few more abilities. I know, this is a lot of abilities. We have Soul Control, Mind Control, and Mind Connection, all psychic style abilities. Some of these might be like passives that work along the way. I really don't know how they'll put her Mind Control abilities into Marvel Rivals. Will it just be a case that it will damage an enemy and you can just lock on and select an enemy? Will it be that you can mark an enemy and it will grant some form of debuff to them because they are under your control? Or would it end up being some kind of healing ability for your teammates? Honestly, the possibilities are endless. And then we also have Piercing Spikes. Kind of a random one at the end. She'll probably just create Diamond Spikes. I can't actually tell from this ability list which one's the ultimate, so you'll have to let me know if you've got any ideas in the comments. Now, alongside Emma Frost, we're also going to be getting Phoenix, because there is an ability in the files called Phoenix Ray, so we will also be seeing Jean Grey enter the Marvel Rivals. However, that is currently all that's known about her, and the possibilities with Phoenix are endless. She's got telekinesis, she has mind control, of course the power of the Phoenix Force that could resurrect her, or she could heal her teammates, so she could fit any kind of role, but we know Phoenix is definitely coming. Now, the female heroes are going strong because we have another Captain Marvel will be joining the roster at some point as well, and this was leaked because there are voice lines for existing heroes interacting with Captain Marvel. We even have one from Captain America where he says, "Not too shabby, Danvers." So you can expect Carol Danvers in the future of Marvel Rivals. As for her abilities, nothing is known currently. I would imagine she'd be a flying character. Again, Marvel Rivals can kind of do anything with what role she plays. They are going against the grain with some heroes and giving them roles that you wouldn't quite expect. I definitely could see her being a strategist, but also a duelist in the same way, having a lot of ranged attacks in a similar way to Iron Man. But also, fans noticed that Erica Lindbeck, who actually voices Captain Marvel in multiple other games, actually recently followed Marvel Rivals on Twitter, leading them to speculate that she was going to be voicing Captain Marvel when she releases in Marvel Rivals. However, Erica Lindbeck since replied to this theory and said no, if she was going to be in Marvel Rivals, then she never would have followed them because people are always watching. So it seems she shut down any theories that she is going to be the voice of Captain Marvel. However, you can't really trust everything they say because either way, they might want to keep it hidden until she's officially announced. So maybe Erica is still the voice of Captain Marvel, but I don't think we need to bother her. But it was definitely interesting that fans noticed this. Now, the next heroes should come to the game around January 9th when Season 1 drops, and a lot of leakers do believe that Blade will actually be among the roster of the first heroes added to the game. Now, similar to with some other leaks, we do have the names of his abilities that are in the game files. Of course, these could change by the time he's released, but the names do suggest that he's going to have two weapons to use. He has his trusty katana and also a hunting shotgun, and then he has a passive called Bloodline Liberation. Not too sure exactly what that's going to be. Ability 1 is Stomp and Slash. so a melee attacking ability. Ability 2 is Dark Knight Attack, and Ability 3 is Fang Deflect. So he's going to have some kind of deflective ability, and the ultimate is called New Moon, which I'd imagine would let him take on his more vampire side for a short duration. Now, what kind of role will he be? I think these abilities line up with a duelist. I think if he was a Vanguard, he'd have more abilities that would maybe suggest that. So I'm going to go and say he'll be a duelist, and as you saw, his model was also leaked. Next up, we have a super rogue one, and one that I'm actually maybe the most excited for. It's Hitmonkey. Now, Hitmonkey is going to be in the game because, once again, there are voice lines in the game files that reference Hitmonkey, so it's confirmed they are working on him. And why he's going to be such a cool hero is because, unlike many others, he literally is just a monkey that knows how to take people out. He literally cannot speak and can only communicate with Bryce, so I don't think they'll actually need to give him many voice lines, but obviously other people can talk to him. And just seeing this dude suited up with 2 pistols in his hand, a katana on his back, taking people out in Marvel Rivals, I'm all here for it. Now, I'd assume he'd have some pretty wicked movement, and likely a duelist since he is literally a hitman and 2 weapons. You got his pistols and a katana for up close. You can probably guess the rest. Okay, so I know I did just say Hitmonkey might be my favorite on the list, but I might have to change that because we also have leaks that Deadpool will be coming to Marvel Rivals. Again, the leak is based on an existing voice line where he has an interaction with Wolverine, but it seems he's definitely really early in development, so we're not going to see him in the game for a pretty long time, and that would make sense because I think when they add Deadpool, they're definitely going to want to do it right. He's going to have so many voice lines. I mean, he's the 4th wall breaker, probably the funniest hero to interact with, and a lot of people have also said when Deadpool comes to the game, they do want them to release an announcer pack where Deadpool announces the games, which I think is a fabulous idea. Now, as for what role he could take, of course, he would be a pretty good duelist, but also a Vanguard would make sense for Deadpool since he does have regenerative abilities. I think making him a tank would be a really cool way to implement Deadpool, but I'm so happy this one's been leaked because I think everyone wants Deadpool in the game. There are also some voice lines where Loki and Hela are referencing Angela, so it looks like Angela, Thor's sister, will be coming to the games as well. That's about all we know at the moment. Now, of course, the Fantastic Four are all going to be making their way into the games as well. We've covered these in videos already. You probably should know all about them if you are keeping up to date with the leaks. We have Mr. Fantastic, who seems pretty developed now. We've got his full model. Leakers have all insisted that he's going to be a duelist, but his kit is very Vanguard heavy, with him being able to deflect damage back at people and seek out and capture enemies, along with his passive that lets him generate elasticity while using his skills, which then when it reaches full will trigger and put him in an inflated state, which looks like this, where he restores his health and boosts even more damage. So yeah, when we see him in the game, I think a Vanguard does make sense, but as I do say, the leakers keep saying he's a duelist, so people are pretty confused about this one. But alongside Mr. Fantastic, we also had the full abilities leaked for Human Torch. They were leaked ages ago, and then his character was even leaked by Marvel Rivals themselves in an advertisement, so there's a good chance he comes in Season 1, but I think the Fantastic Four will definitely all be out in the game before summer next year when the new Fantastic Four movie comes out. We also had The Thing, who's obviously going to be a Vanguard, very Hulk-like character who is completely immune to knockback abilities and can fortify himself and his teammates to give them damage reduction. And we also have Sue Storm, who is going to be a strategist, but not that much is known about her. Of course, she'll be able to go invisible and create bubbles to protect herself and maybe her teammates, or even to heal. So definitely keep an eye out for the Fantastic Four because we might be seeing them pretty soon in Marvel Rivals. Speaking of seeing people pretty soon, we also have the Season 1 hero that is confirmed, and that is going to be Ultron, who is also going to be a strategist. To many people's surprise, he is not a duelist, he is a strategist, and he can send out his drones to constantly heal teammates, literally follow them and heal them, and heal everyone within a radius, along with also having a drone that he can have on himself that also heals any teammates around you. And then his ultimate releases a bunch of his drones that all fire his primary fire, the Encephalo Ray, that will damage enemies and heal your teammates. Honestly, it sounds like Ultron's going to be pretty broken as a strategist, and I'm here for it. I think it's going to be super fun. And then lastly, people have said there are references answers to the hood. And as many people have been wanting, that would mean Ghost Rider coming to Marvel Rivals, but there's really not that much information being shared about that. So I think it's going to be a pretty long while before we see any sign of Ghost Rider, but I thought I'd mention that right at the end. So there you go. Those are all of the leaked heroes that are coming to the game that we know of so far. Of course, a lot of these heroes probably won't be in the game for another year or so, but of course, we'll find out more about that as time goes on. So let me know, who is your favorite hero that has currently been leaked? And if you did want to know more about specific heroes or the season 1 lineup, then you can go and watch my other videos. But I'll see you guys in the next one with more Marvel Rivals news. Goodbye.